prisoner.
The state of Pennsylvania has tried to silence this man for 36 years, and now they're on the run. There is a monumental change in this case, and we're asking the DA's office to follow through on the judge's ruling and release all of the files in the case of Mumia Abu Jamal.
Hero to the youth and everyone for revolution. We need 1 million Mumias on the streets as a solution. Freedom for Mumia Abu Jamal and my community. You can lock me down, but I will never be your prisoner.
Free Mumia! Free Mumia! Free Mumia!
Who's Mumia?
In 1979, Mumia won Columbia University's prestigious Major Armstrong Award for its radio editorial of the Pope's visit to Philadelphia.
In 1981, Philly magazine identified him as one of 81 people to watch.
That same year, Mumia was sentenced to death for killing a Philadelphia police officer.
A rising star journalist killed a police officer? That doesn't make sense.
Keep in mind, Mumia became a target of the police and the FBI when he joined the Black Panther Party at the age of 14.
In the media, the Black Panthers were demonized for their work against police brutality.
In reality, they took care of the community and launched a free children's breakfast program, legal clinics, and community health initiatives.
Mumia's FBI file contains a photo of him with the word dead written on the back.
The FBI couldn't kill him, so the Philly DA and police framed him. And he's been in jail for 36 years.
Now, a landmark Supreme Court ruling could overturn Mumia's conviction.
What did it rule?
In Williams versus Pennsylvania, the High Court ruled that Ronald Castille, the judge who denied Terrence Williams' appeal, had a conflict of interest.
Why?
It's a conflict of interest because it's a violation of the Constitution for a judge to rule on a case in which he previously worked on as a prosecutor.
So he was the prosecutor and then judged the case?
Exactly. He had a conflict of interest. Judge Castille should have recused himself from that appeal case, but he didn't.
So what does this have to do with Mumia?
The same conflict of interest violation in the Williams case surfaces in Mumia's case and involves the same judge. Ronald Castille was a prosecutor in Mumia's case and later a judge on the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. He reviewed and denied Mumia's appeal.
Oh, no conflict of interest there.
Not only was the judge bought off by the police, so was the DA. But now, for the first time in years, there is an opportunity to bring Mumia home.
Really? How?
Mumia's lawyers were in court on April 24th, coincidentally on Mumia's birthday, and won discovery. In other words, the judge ordered the DA to turn over records pertaining to this case. These documents will show Castille's personal involvement in this historic case.
Only one thing stands in the way of those records seeing the light of day: the notoriously corrupt Philly DA's office.
And now, an abridged history of the Philadelphia DA's office.
What happens in a DA's office is that the way you move up in a DA's office, the way you move up to higher units and get more responsibility and get more prestige is by getting convictions and doing well. And doing well in a prosecutor's office is perceived as getting convictions. And the more aggressive you are, the more convictions you get, the more notches in your belt you get, the more likely you are to move up and into more prestigious roles within the DA's office. So the problem with that is that can, doesn't always, but can create some injustices along the way and some unfairness and some loss of that original purpose of trying to do justice.
Wait, isn't the DA's office supposed to be like the Hall of Justice?
Allegedly. But politicians build their careers on winning convictions, and justice rides the back of the bus.
How do they win convictions exactly?
Exhibit A, the DA's training video on how to keep black people off the jury.
You're there to win, and in order to win, and the defense is there to win too, and the only way you're going to do your best is to get jurors that are as unfair and more likely to convict than anybody else in that room. let's face it again. There's the blacks from the low-income areas are less likely to convict. And as a result, you don't want those people on your jury. And it may appear as if you're being racist or whatnot, but again, you're just being realistic. You're just trying to win the case.
That's fucked up.
The suppression of evidence is another way the DA gets convictions, and it's a systemic practice. For example, Terry Williams was 18 years old when he was sentenced to death for the murder of a man who raped him repeatedly when he was a boy, a fact that the DA managed to hide for 28 years.
In Mumia's case, there was a fourth person at the crime scene, but the prosecutor hid that fact from the defense and the jury.
But wait, isn't the DA's office supposed to be turning records over right now in Mumia's case? What's to stop them from just putting everything through the shredder?
That's where you come in.
Okay.
Philadelphia has the distinction of having more juvenile lifers sent to prison as juveniles for life than any other jurisdiction on the planet Earth. It is not used in most of the world, but it is used here in the cradle of the Constitution of the United States.
If the corporate media's job is to sell fear, conflict, and ignorance, yours is to show courage amidst adversity, cooperation, community, complexity, and the sheer genius and brilliance that exists in all of humanity.
It's up to us.
It is up to us.
It's up to us.
It's up to us to pressure the DA's office to release all of the files in this case.
Release all of the files.
Release all the files.
Release all the files in this case.
One of the highest profile cases in Philadelphia is the case of Mumia Abu Jamal, which a win for Mumia is a win for all.
In January, a court order guaranteed Mumia's right to be treated with the Hep C cure.
It was the first time the courts ruled decisively on prisoners' health.
This opens up the door for 6,000 other prisoners across Pennsylvania currently suffering with Hep C.
Winning humane health care for the most marginalized in society raises the standard of care for all of us.
This court order was the result of a 2-year legal and political battle that couldn't have happened without grassroots organizing.
A new battle for Mumia's freedom is on the horizon.
People are in the streets demanding justice and accountability in the DA's office.
But victory is not ensured.
It will take collective action to win, but we need your help.
Please call, email, or fax the DA's office with this message.
Follow through on the judge's order and release all of the files in Mumia's case.
And join us Tuesday, May 30th at 2 p.m. in front of the DA's office in Philadelphia.
It's time to
bring Mumia home.
You can lock me down, but I will never be your prisoner. Victims are the ones that just obey and just give it up. Even in this world, we enslaved like some prisoners. A freedom fighter fights till the world listen up. Yep.
Let us become that which we revere and remember. Let us be abolitionists, strengthened by the positive contribution of our ancestors, black and white. Let us struggle to make progress. Let us build the movement by making it blacker, more Latino, and more working class. Let us understand that social movements change history.